பேச
Any language you can speak.
அன்பான பக்த கோடிகளே, உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் இனிய மாலை வணக்கம். பொதுவாக அர்ஜுனன் என்றாலே நல்ல வித்தை கட்டவன் என்றாலும், அதுபோல நமது அர்ஜுன் சாய் அவர்கள் இன்று உங்களிடையே தேவி மகாத்மியம் என்ற தலைப்பில் ஒரு சிறு உபன்யாசம் செய்ய இருக்கிறார். அவருடைய தந்தை திரு வெங்கடேஷ், பொருத்தமான தினம் புரட்டாசி தினம் பெருமாள் பெயர். அவருடைய தாய் ஹரிப்பிரியா, அவருடைய பிரியமான புதல்வன் நம் அர்ஜுன் சாய் அவர்கள் இன்று உங்களை எல்லாம் பக்தி கடலில் மூழ்கடித்து பரவசம் என்ற முத்தெடுக்க அவர் உங்களை எல்லாம் பக்தி கடல் தேவி மகாத்மியம் என்ற தலைப்பில் ஒரு சிறு உபன்யாசத்தை அருள் செய்ய போகிறார். உங்கள் இருக்கையிலே அமர்ந்து இரு கைகளால் அவரை கரகோஷம் செய்து அவரை வரவேற்போம். நன்றி.
लक्ष्मीनाथ समारंभां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नित्यम् अच्युतपदाम्बुजे युग्मरुक्मव्यामोहतस्तरितराणि तृणाय मेणे अस्मद्गुरो भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य शरणं शरणं प्रपद्ये. गुरुब्रह्मा गुरुविष्णु गुरुदेवो महेश्वरः गुरुसाक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Namaskaram to everyone present here, the dignitaries from the temple, the management, and the Sannidhi full of audience we have today. I find it a pleasure indeed to talk about the glories of Devi on the divine day of Vijayadashami. And today is the Trivona Nakshatra, that is the nakshatra which we correspond to the deity Lord Venkateshwara. So I find it a pleasure indeed because we consider Devi as the sister to Mahavishnu. So it is a great coalesce of a day. So I find it a pleasure. To start with, I would like to put forth two disclaimers. In this Upanyasa, we will not be looking at the complete philosophical view of the different sects of Hinduism. We will just be looking at the Devi Mahatmyam as a whole, which is majorly from the Shakta perspective. And second of all, we are here to experience the glories of Devi. So that is what I will be mainly touching upon as a subject today. To start with, the Devi Mahatmyam, also known as the Durga Saptashati, is a 700 compendium of works found in the Mahatmyam Puranam. Mainly, it talks about the glories of Devi Adi Shakti. So the first chapter starts with a conversation between King Suratha. He is the chosen Manu for the 8th Manavantara, Maharishi Medhas, and a merchant called Samadhi. Now, we know that since it is Tiruvana Nakshatram, I would also like to touch upon my lord, that is Krishna. Krishna Jananam, which happened in Mathura in the jail of Maharaja Kamsa, on the divine day of Ashtami and when the star Rohini coalesced, Lord Krishna was born. At the time, he instructed goddess Yogamaya to be born out of the womb of Yashodha and Nanda. So when Vasudeva was instructed by Mahavishnu himself to swap the babies from Nandagopa's house and bring back the girl child which had been born to Yashoda, that is Yogamaya, back to Mathura's prison. So Vasudeva takes baby Krishna to Gokula where Nanda resided. He swaps the babies and brings back Yogamaya. When Yogamaya comes back to the prison, everything goes back as to normal. Kamsa is informed about the birth of the 8th child, that is the proclaimed killer of Kamsa. Kamsa is informed about this. He rushes to the prison. when he sees that a girl child is born, he does not show any sense of pity, he does not show any sense of compassion, although Devaki appeals to him. Kamsa grabs the baby from her hands and tries to kill the baby by throwing it into the air. But what happened was not at all what Kamsa expected. The Bhagavatam explains it in a very beautiful way. The event which occurred. Satarastat samutpatya sadhyo devi ambaram gata adrishya tanuja vishnu sanidhashta mahabhuja. The baby flew out into the sky and transformed into the eight-armed form of goddess Durga. And it instructed the form of goddess Durga said to Kamsa that his killer had already been born and it has already been safely put in the hands of a capable person, and the Yoga Maya in the form of Durga disappears. So why did I talk about Yoga Maya? Because in the first chapter of the Durga Saptashati, the Devi Mahatmyam, Rishi Medas explains to King Surata and the merchant Samadhi about the glories of Yoga Maya. We all know about Pranaya, that is grand destruction after each Kalpa or each Manavantara which happens. Lord Mahavishnu rests on his serpent couch Adishesha and goes into Yoga Nidra. This Yoga Nidra, according to the Devi Mahatmyam, is powered by the Shakti, that is Mahamaya, also known as Yoga Maya. So the story goes like this. Maharishi Medas explains that after the Pranaya, when Mahavishnu has gone into Yoga Nidra, Madhu Kaitava, the Asuras are born out of his ears, and they had stolen the Vedas. So Brahma wanted to retrieve the Vedas, so he has to wake up Lord Vishnu. Here, in the Devi Mahatmyam, it is said that he makes a stuti to Yoga Maya to wake Lord Vishnu up. So, when Maharishi Medas is explaining about this Yoga Maya, he put forth a shloka that says, Tanatra Vismaya Karyo Yoga Nidro Jagatpate Mahamaya Harishesha Taya Sammohyate Jagat. This Mahamaya is in the form of Devi, which dilutes the entire earth. And it is by the grace of this Mahamaya that we all have to come out of the delusion. So this Mahamaya, Brahma appeals to with the following stuti. I shall take some snippets from the stuti itself. Vishveshwarim Jagadhatrim Sthiti Samharakarini Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnu Rotulam Tejasas Prabhu. Brahma appeals to the Yoga Maya. He is saying that you are Vishveshwari, because we have to understand here that Yoga Maya is nothing but a form of the Adi Shakti. So he appeals Vishveshwari, the goddess who owns the whole world, Jagadhatri, the sustainer of the entire world, Sthiti Samharakarini, very important word, the one who has the power to create, to sustain and to destroy the entire universe. Normally we see that these different purposes are carried out by the three devs, that is Brahma, Vishnu and Maheshwara, where Brahma corresponds to creation, Mahavishnu corresponds to protection, sustenance, and Lord Shiva, the destroyer. But we see here that the Devi Mahatmyam attributes all these qualities to the Devi Adishakti alone. So he says, Sthiti Samharakarini, Nidram Bhagavatim Vishnor Rotulam Tejasas Prabhu. O Adishakti, now you are in the form of the Yoga Nidra of Mahavishnu. I appeal to you, please wake up and help me in destroying vanquishing Madhukaitava and retrieving the Vedas. Brahma also says, Tvam Swaha Tvam Svadha Tvam Hi Vashattara Swaratmika Sudha Tvamakshare Nitye Tridha Matratmika Stita. This seems familiar, this verse seems familiar. Right? Tvam Swaha, Tvam Svadha, Tvam Hi Vashattara Swaratmika. We have heard this somewhere. It is from the Lakshmi Ashtotra, which starts with saying Prakritim Vikritim Vidyam Sarvabhuta Hitam Pradam, and it ends with saying Swaha, Svadha and Sudha as well. So we see all these names are attributed to Mahalakshmi, but here Brahma also uses these names interchangeably for Adi Shakti. It is because we see that according to the Shakta philosophy, Adi Shakti manifests herself into three forms, that is Mahakali, Mahalakshmi and Mahasaraswati. These are not to be confused with the other Vyastis that are Kali, Lakshmi and Saraswati, because they are, that is the threefold forms of Adi Shakti. They are very different from the different Vyastis, because we see that they are used for dhyana and these forms are used for to fulfill our wishes, right? So these aspects are not to be confused. So Brahma uses these terms interchangeably because the Tridevis are nothing but an aspect of Adi Shakti. So the next shloka, Visishtau Srishti Rupatvam Sthiti Rupa Cha Palane Tatha Samhyati Rupante Jagatosya Jaganmani. This shloka is where we see that there is a difference between philosophies from different sects of Hinduism. That is, we see that here the Devi Mahatmyam attributes the quality Jagatosya Jaganmaye to Adi Shakti. That is, she is the sustainer of the world and she is the world itself. Whereas, as we see in the Vishnu Purana, states that Sargasthiti Vinashanam Jagatosya Jaganmayaha Moolabhuto Namastasmai Vishnave Paramatmane. These qualities are attributed to Mahavishnu also. Right? So we see here that there is a difference of philosophy. But I would like to use the provision which the Devi Mahatmyam itself has provided me, that is Mahalakshmi. The Vishnu Puranam also states that Shrishta Vishnuriyam Srishti Shri Bhumir Dharo Haihi. The Vishnu Puranam states that the Shrishta, creator, is Mahavishnu, and Srishti, that is the whole entire world, that is Mahalakshmi. Here Jaganmaye also means that she is all around the world. She is the world itself. And here in Vishnu Purana it states that Srishti Shri Bhumir Dharo Harihi, where Shri is the entire creation and she is nothing but the aspect of Adi Shakti as I expanded upon. So we see here that there are some commonalities, because in this sabha I have to state different philosophies as a very common statement, right? So I am using the quote from Vishnu Purana. From the Devi Mahatmyam, we see that there is another shloka which outright states that Tvam Shri, Tvam Ishvari, Tam Hrimstvam Buddhir Bodha Lakshana, Lajja Pushtis Thatha Pushtis, Tvam Shanti Revacha. It says here that Adi Shakti is Shri, it is also Ishvari, it is also Buddhi, that is Medha, Saraswati. So it attributes the Adi Shakti to all the forms of Tridevi. So that is why I am taking the liberty of using Mahalakshmi here as an example, right? So we see that using these stuti, Brahma wakes up Mahavishnu with the power of Yogamaya. It is very important to understand here that we see that the Devi Mahatmyam says that Mahavishnu is completely under the control of Yogamaya in this case. So when Yogamaya is extolled by Brahma, Mahavishnu wakes up and his purpose is fulfilled. He kills Madhu and Taitava. I spent a lot of time in this chapter because concepts from this chapter alone will help us continue forth from the different chapters of the Durga Saptashati. Right? So we see that in the life of Krishna, since I started with Krishna's birth, I am moving on. In Gokula and Vrindavana, he performs many leelas, and after the Balya Parva, when he enters his Yuva Parva, we see that he has lot of gopikas which love him. They serve him with lots of bhakti and servitude. Such was their bhakti towards Lord Krishna, the gopikas' bhakti towards Lord Krishna, that they started a prayer just so that they could become the wives of Krishna. Right? So in the Bhagavatam, the gopikas go on a vratam, that is a fast, to appeal to Lord Katyayini, so that Lord Krishna becomes their husband. In the Bhagavatam, the verse is Katyayini Mahamaye Mahayogin Vidhishwari Nandagopa Sutam Devi Patimne Kurute Namaha. Hey Katyayini Mahamaya Mahayogin Vidhishwari, you are the holder of all the yogic aspects. Such divine goddess, please help that Nandagopa Sutam, the son of Lord King Nanda, to become my husband. So Katyayini Vratam is done by the gopikas. When we see the second chapter and the third chapter of the Devi Mahatmyam, Durga Saptashati, the Devas send the goddess Durga to kill the Asura, Mahishasura. Right? So here, the main form attributed to goddess Durga is the form of Katyayini, which is celebrated as the 6th day. I will expand upon this when I talk about the Navadurgas. So Katyayani is a form which grants all our wishes. That's why the gopis go on the Katyayani Ratha. Right? So I will touch upon briefly about the story of Katyayani first. So Katyayani's name is attributed to goddess Durga because the Durga Gayatri, that is Katyayanaaya Vidmahe Kanyakumari Dhimahi Tanno Durgi Prachodayat. The word Katyayani is used to invoke goddess Durga. So that is why we see that the name Katyayani is attributed to the form of goddess Durga. Now we see that there was a tyrant called Mahishasura. He was tormenting the three lokas, Swarga, Bhumi and Patana respectively. So the Devas appealed to the three devs, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, to somehow make a solution to this problem. The Krodhatmi, the light of the anger from the three devas, coalesced into a divine form. And when this happened, the Shaktis from the other Devas also merged into with that light. And there emerged a divine feminine form. Aihide Nandini Nandita Medhini Vishnu Vinodini Nandanute Girivara Vindya Shirodhini Vasini Vishnu Vilasini Jishnunute Bhagavati Heshite Kantha Kutumbini Bhuri Krite Jaya Jaya He Mahishasura Mardhini Ramyaka Mardhini Shaila Sute Suravaravarshini Dhurdharadarshini Gurmukhamarshini Arsharate Tribhuvanaposhini Shankaratoshini Kilpishamoshini Ghosharate Dhanujaniroshini Dyutisudharoshini Gurmadasoshini Sindhusute Jaya Jaya He Mahishasuramardhini Ramyakapardhini Shailasute. The divine form of Adishakti emerged with 10 hands in front of the Devas. The Devas make a stuti. So, we see that in the Devi Mahatmyam, there is a shloka which says, Yadabhut Chabhavam Tejas Tena Jayata Tanmukam Yamyena Chabhavat Kesha Bahavo Vishnu Tejasa. We see that the different Shaktis which coalesce into the light, different deities, Shaktis have formed into different different limbs of the goddess Durga. We see here that Stena, which is the name of Lord Shiva, Stena Jayita Tanmukam. The Shakti from the Teja from Lord Shiva formed the face of the goddess. Yamyena Chabhavat Keja, the Shakti from the Yama, that is the god of death, it formed the hair of goddess Durga, and Bahavo, the arms of goddess Durga, were formed by the Shakti, the Teja of Lord Vishnu. We see that Devi Mahatmyam expands upon this, where different Shaktis of different gods form the different limbs of goddess Durga. Then we see the Devas make a stuti to goddess Durga, Adi Shakti, and send this goddess to kill Mahishasura, which is accomplished on the 10th day, that is today, Vijayadashami. Right? So we see that this is the form of Katyayani, goddess Durga, which kills Mahishasura. We see that when we come out of Gokula, Vrindavana, after the Leelas are done, Katyayani Vratam and all is done, Krishna moves to Dwaraka. He erects the city of Dwaraka near Gujarat. We see at this point of time, the Raja Kumari, the princess of Vidarbha, Rukmini, she writes a letter to Lord Krishna. She loves Lord Krishna very much, so she wants to attain him as her husband, so she writes a letter. It is a very beautiful segment in the Bhagavatam. One of these shlokas states that Antah Puratarachi Manihatya Bandhu Tvamudvahe Katamiti Pravadamupayam Purvo Durasi Mahati Kuladeva Yatra Yasyam Bahir Navadur Girijanupayet. So we see that in the letter, Rukmini states that Krishna, you might be wondering how you will marry me when my marriage is fixed with the prince of Cheti, Shishupala. Rukmini says that it is our custom that we go to the Kula Devata temple. Here in this case, the Kula Devata of Rukmini is goddess Girija. So we see that I will go there, you can come and kidnap me from there. So it is a beautiful segment of the Bhagavatam as well. Why am I talking about Girija again? Because it is the form of Navadurga. It is the foremost in the Navadurga. We attribute the 9 days of Navaratri to the 9 forms of goddess Durga, which I will expand upon when we talk about the Devi Kavacham. Now, when we see that there are different weapons given by different gods to the Devi to kill Mahishasura. First, the Trishula is given by Lord Shiva. We all know that Trishuladhari, Lord Shiva is called as Trishuladhari. So, Trishul is given to the goddess Durga by Lord Shiva. The Khadga, the sword, is given by Lord Ganesha. The spear, Bhaji, also called as Veil in Tamil, it is given by God Agni to goddess Durga. Parashu, axe, it is given by Bhagavatam and Vishnu Puranam, the architect of the Devatas. Then we see that the bow is given by Vayudeva. Kamal, lotus, is given by Lord Brahma. Vajra is given by Lord Indra. The Shankh, the primordial conch shell, is given by Lord Varuna. Sudarshana Chakra is given by Lord Vishnu, Chakradhari. And there is a snake which Durga wears as a mala as well, which symbolizes the consciousness and attributed to Lord Shiva as well. So with these different weapons, the goddess is fully armed. She goes to the place where Mahishasura resides and kills Mahishasura. She accomplishes her given task. Now the Devas make a stuti to her. There are lots of stutis, Aparajita stuti, Chakradi stuti, which are mentioned in the Devi Mahatmyam. Large topics which I will not be touching upon because we have to finish 13 chapters from the Durga Saptashati. We see that in this segment where she kills Mahishasura, the Devas ask for a boon to the goddess, where they ask that whenever we need your help, you must come and aid us. So the Devi grants this and disappears. In chapter 5, the Devas again make an appeal because there are two asuras called Shumbha and Vishumba who create havoc on the earth. So the Devas again need to appeal to the goddess. So they appeal to the goddess, right? So they make a stuti. This stuti is present in the chapter 5 of Devi Mahatmyam. It starts with saying Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Vishnumayeti Shakita Namastasye, 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 Namo Namaha. They attribute the different forms, the daily routine aspects like Nidra, Buddhi, Chaya, shadow and all to Devi. They make a stuti and the Devi appears from the body of goddess Gauri. We see that all the three Devis have the aspect of Adi Shakti in them. So here Adi Shakti is brought out by the Devas from the body of goddess Gauri. Why only goddess Gauri? We have seen that in the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam, we see that there is a word which says Namaste Karudarude Kolasura Bhayankare, which attributes to Mahalakshmi. This is the Mahalakshmi Ashtakam. So we see here that Adi Shakti here in the form of Mahalakshmi is Kolasura. When we go to the temple Ambabai, we see that this is a Sthala Purana which they expand on. So Adi Shakti can be brought out from all the three Devis because they all have the aspect of Adi Shakti inside them. So when Adi Shakti is brought out from the body of goddess Gauri, the Devas make a stuti again and they say that you have to destroy Nishumbha and Nishumba, and Shumbha and Nishumba send a vast array of asuras, Chanda, Munda, Rakta Bija, and before this they sent a messenger to the Devi, knowing that this has happened. They sent a messenger to the Devi. The Devi says that I will only come to those who can defeat me. So when Shumbha and Nishumba heard of this, they got very egoistic and they sent a vast array of asuras to defeat the Devi. But in turn, vice versa happens. The Devi defies the thoughts of Shumbha and Nishumba and kills Chanda, Munda and Rakta Bija. We see that in the chapter 8 of the Durga Saptashati, the killing of Rakta Bija, different gods stand in an array. And when the Simha Vahini goes to destroy everyone, different aspects of the different male gods come out as feminine aspects. We see that from Brahma, Brahmani comes. From Vishnu, Vaishnavi comes. From Shiva, Maheshwari comes. From Indra, Aindri comes. From Kumara, that is Subramanya Swami, Kaumari comes. From Varaha, an avatar of Mahavishnu, from Varaha, Varahi comes. And from Narasimha, Narasimhi comes. So this Brahmani, Vaishnavi, Maheshwari, Aindri, Kaumari, Varahi and Narasimhi are called as the Sapta Matrika, the 7 mothers, which are formed feminine aspects of the male gods. right? So we see here that using the help of the Saptamatrika and the help of goddess Kali, Rakta Bija is destroyed, Chanda and Munda are destroyed. This is happening in the chapter 8 and 9, and in the 10th chapter and 9th chapter, Shumbha and Vishumbha are killed by the goddess Durga, and in chapter 11, a grand stuti comes, a grand stuti by all the devas come, because here she has killed, or she has fulfilled many different purposes of the devas. So the devas are very excited, they are very so indulged in the goddess's compassion that she comes out every single time they call out with bhakti to them. They make a stuti in the chapter 11. So I will be spending time on this. I will be expanding the meanings of the different shlokas as well. The first shloka is that Devya Hate Tatra Mahasurendre Sendra Sura Bhakti Purogamamstam Katyayini Tushtuvarishthalavar Vikashi Bhaktra Javikasi Kasak. We see here that the devas attribute to the form of Katyayini again, because this is the form. Katyayini is the form Tushtuvar Ishtalavan. Whatever Ishta, whatever desires we have, we see that Katyayini is the form which can fulfill all of these desires. So this shloka, devas praise goddess Katyayini for granting their wishes, their hopes fulfilled. Right? The second shloka, Devi Prapannarti Hare Prasida Prasida Matar Jagatokilasya Prasida Vishveshwari Pahi Vishwam Tvamishwari Devi Characharasya. O Devi, we all surrender unto you. Mata, you are the Loka Mata, Jagat Janani, we all surrender to you. Prasida Vishveshwari, you are the ruler of all, the protector of the universe, right? You are the one who is inside the moving and the unmoving, Chetana and Achetana. You are the whole under Charachara, Devi Characharasya. Adhara Bhuta Jagatasva Meka Mahishwa Rupena Yathastitasi Apam Swarupa Stidaya Tvaetad Apyayate Krishna Malanga Vidya. The Devas say that you alone are the sustaining power of the universe. Adhara Bhuta Jagatasva Meka. You are the only sustaining power of the world. Eka Mahishwa Rupena Yathastitasi. You are attributed by different forms. Water. You are Apam Swarupa Stidaya. Apa means water. Apaha means water in Sanskrit. So you are inside all the Panchabhutas. You are the Antaryami to all the Panchabhutas. Apam Swarupa Stidaya Tvaetad Apyayate Krishna Malanga Vidya. Devi, you are of unsurpassable strength. Your strength is such that whenever we call upon you, you can come anytime from anybody, right? Because you are the Antaryami to every single thing, living or non-living in this world. Such is your strength. So the Devas make a stuti. Tvam Vaishnavi Shakti Ananta Vidya Vishwasya Bijam Paramasi Maya Sammohitam Devi Samastam Etat Tvam Vai Prasanna Bhuvimukti Hetu. O Devi, you are Vishnu's power. You are Vaishnavi, the source of all, the supreme Maya, which Sammoha, that is, dilutes the entire universe. You are the Sammoha Shakti, and you are the Shakti which can also remove that delusion at the same time. Right? Vidya Samastas Tavadevi Bheda Striyas Samastas Sakala Jagatsu Tvayekaya Puritam Ambayetat Kate Stutis Tavya Paroparukti. Devas say that you are the cause of liberation. When you are pleased, we are also liberated. You are the cause of delusion in the world, you are also the cause of the destruction of delusion in the world. How can we, you are beyond praise. Kate Stutis Tavya Paroparukti. Are there words enough to glorify you? The Devas ask. You are the Vidya Samastas, you are all the Vidya. So when you reside in all the Vidya which can be used to extol you, to praise you, from where can we find words to praise you? Such is the extreme bhakti which Devas have towards the Devi in this segment. Sarva Bhuta Yadha Devi Bhukti Mukti Pradhayini Tvam Stuta Stutaye Kava Bhavantu Paramuktayah. Sarva Bhuta Yadha Devi, you are the Devi which have become all the things in this world. Bhukti Mukti Pradayini. You are the one who bestows Bhukti and Mukti upon us. So when you are in such an exalted position, are there words exalted enough to praise you? Again the Devas ask. Sarvasya Buddhi Rupena Jarasya Hriti Samstite Svargapa Vargade Devi Narayani Namostute. From this verse the Narayani Stuti starts in the Devi Mahatmyam. Sarvasya Buddhi Rupena. In all the human beings in the world, You are present as Buddhi. In that Sarvasya Buddhi Rupena Janasya Hridi Samstite. Svargapa Vardhane Devi Narayani Namostate. Your compassion is such that you can even bestow upon us heavenly wealth. Svargapa Vardhane Devi Narayani Namostate. The Devas say that, oh Narayani, you are such that you can even when humans or bhaktas pray to you with exalted devotion, you can even give them wealth from the Svarga, right? Such is your compassion. The Devas make a stuti to Narayani. Kalakasthadi Rupena Parinama Pradayini Vishwasya Paratau Shakte Narayani Namostate. Kalakasthadi Rupena, you are the eternal time cycle. With your power only, the time itself, the Kala Chakra itself is running. Parinama Pradayini, you are the one who gives us the fruit of our action. You alone can bring change to this eternal cycle of birth and death. Vishwasya Parashtav Shakti. Why can you bring us out of the cycle of birth and death? Because Vishwasya Parashtav Shakti. Your Shakti is out of this world. It cannot be described. Vishwasya Parashtav Shakti Narayani Namostate. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadike. Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostate. Sarva Mangala Mangalye. To whatever is auspicious, you are the power which gives it that auspiciousness. Since it is Tiruvora Nakshatram also, it is the Nakshatram of Sri Vedanta Deshika, an exalted saint from the Vaishnava philosophy. In the Shri Stuti which he has written, he says, Manatita Pratita Vimama Mangalam Mangalanam. You are auspicious of all auspicious. The same word is used as Sarva Mangal Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Shadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostate. Sarvartha Sadike. Whatever endeavor your bhaktas are entering into, Sarvartha Sadike, you will make them get victory in that, because you are the auspiciousness of all auspiciousness. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Shadike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostate. I surrender to you that form of Goddess Durga Narayani. Srishti Sthiti Vinashanam Shakti Bhute Sanatani Gunashraye Gunamaye Narayani Namostate. Again, we see in the first chapter also this word is used. Srishti Sthiti Vinashanam. The Devi who is attributed to all the acts of Srishti creation, Sthiti, sustenance, Vinashanam, destruction. Shakti Bhute Sanatani. Your Shakti is eternal. That is why you are able to accomplish all these tasks. Eternal Shakti. Gunashraye Gunamayi. You are the Bhandara, your devotion, treasury of all the Gunas. The Gunas themselves are surrendered to you. Gunashraye Gunamayi. Narayani Namostate. Sharanagata Dinatta Paritrana Parayane Sarvasyarthi Hare Devi Narayani Namostate. O Narayani, you are intent on rescuing everybody who has surrendered to you. Sharanagata Deenartha Paritrana Parayane. Whoever has surrendered to you, you are so compassionate that you immediately want to save them. So we see that when we surrender to Devi, we don't need to surrender to anybody else. Her compassion is such that once you go in front of her, you fold your hands, she is like, oh, my child has come to me. I have to save. That is the meaning of this. Sharanagata Deenartha Paritrana Parayane. Sarvasyarthi Hare Devi. When we surrender to you, Sarvasyarthi, all the distress you will take away from us. Sarvasyarthi Hare Devi Narayani Namostate. Right? So here we see that Sapta Matrika, the Devas make a stuti of the Sapta Matrika. Hamsa Yukta Vimanasthe Brahmani Rupadharini Kaushambhak Sharike Devi Narayani Namostate. Hamsa Yukta Vimanaste, one who is seated on the Hamsa, swan, white swan. Hamsa Yukta Vimanaste, Brahmani Rupadharini. You are the feminine form of Brahma, Brahmani. Kaushambhak Sharike Devi, Narayani Namostate. You, with the Kaushamba, the Kusha grass, you sprinkle upon us the holy water which can take us out from the cycle of birth and death. Kaushambhak Sharike Devi, Narayani Namostate. Just imagine the water which Goddess herself has touched is falling upon us. Won't we be saved from the cycle of birth and death? Kaushambhak Sharike Devi Narayani Namostate. Trishula Chandra Vihare Mahavrishabha Vahini Maheshwari Swarupena Narayani Namostate. One who holds the Trishula, who has the Vahana as Mahavrishabha, the bull, Mahavrishabha Vahini Maheshwari Swarupena Narayani Namostate. Maheshwari, you are the feminine aspect of Maheshwara. Devi is such that she takes different forms from different aspects. She's searching for a provision. She's searching for a loophole from where she can take herself out and save us. Such is her compassion, right? Such is her compassion. So now here we see that she is in the form of Maheshwari, bride. She bestows upon us every wish we ask for. Maheshwari Swarupena Narayani Namostute. Mayura Kukuta Vrite Mahashakti Dhare Nage. Kaumari Rupa Samsthane Narayani Namostute. Mayura Kukuta Vrite. You are seated on the Mayura, peacock. Mayura Kukuta Vrite Mahashakti Dhare. You hold a spear, also known as veil in the Tamil. It is called Shakti. It is said that her compassion is such that when her son Subramanya goes for war with Surapadma and Tarakasura, she's so worried, a mother, right? She's worried when her son is going for war. So what she does is that she takes her Shakti, some of her Shakti, and puts it into the spear so that she's always with God, Subramanya Swami. So when we see that when she bestows upon that Matrutva Bhavam, we see that we don't need to worry about anything. She is always with us. In some aspects, she will be with us. So that is what Mahashakti Dhare Nage, Kaumari Rupa Samsthane. You are Kaumari, Narayani Namostute. Shankha Chakra Gada Sharanga, Grita Paramayudhe, Prasida Vaishnavi Rupe, Narayani Namostute. The one who holds Shankha, Chakra, Gada, Sharanga, the bow of Lord Vishnu. One who holds such weapon and is seated on the Garudasana, that Vaishnavi Shakti of Lord Narayani Namostute. So we see that Vaishnavi is also known as Vishnu Durga. She is seated in many temples as well. Right? So Vaishnavi Rupena Narayani Namostute. Sapta Matrika. Grihito Gramaha Chakre Damshto Drutta Vasundhare Varahi Rupini Shive Narayani Namostute. You are the auspicious one who holds the chakra, Damshta, the tusks. You have Damshto Drutta Vasundhare. It looks like the crescent moon. Right? The crescent moon are the tusks of Varahi. So that Varahi Rupa Samsthane Narayani Namostute. Nrisimha Rupa Nupre Hattum Daityan Kritodyame Trailokya Trana Sahite Narayani Namostute. You are the feminine aspect of that Narasimha, which came when Prahlada called out to Lord Vishnu to come and save him. When Narasimha comes out, Prahlada is not scared, it seems. Everybody, even the Devas are scared, but we see that Prahlada is not scared. Why? Because he has called Narasimha with that bhakti. Even in that form of Ugra, he sees that father-like aspect of Mahavishnu. So we see here that in the Narasimhi, although she looks as an Ugra Devata, we see she has that Matrutvam inside her. Although the Devi Mahatmyam says Narasimha Rupen Ugrena, she is an Ugra Devata, we see that she still will have a Matrutva Bhava inside her. So, Narayani Namostute. Kiritini Mahavajre, Sahasra Nayanojvale, Vritraparana Hari Devi, Chaindri, Narayani Namostute. Vritrasura was an asura who was killed by the Devaraja Indra. So, that Shakti of Devendra, Aindri, Narayani Namostute. Right? Shivaduti Swarupena, Hatadaitya Mahabale, Ghora Rupe Maharave, Narayani Namostute. O Shivaduti, I praise you, O Narayani, in the form of Shivaduti, whose frightful visage and piercing shrieks only in itself slew the demon. When Shivaduti shrieks, the ears of all the asuras started to shake, it seems. Such was the shriek of Shivaduti. Damshta Karala Vadane, Shiromala Vibhushane, Chamunde Mundamathane, Narayani Namostute. O Chamunda, the destroyer of Munda and Mundasura, who adorns the Damshta Karala Vadane, Shiromala Vibhushane, the one who adorns the garland of skulls. That Chamunda, I appeal to you, the Devas Narayani Namostute. Lakshmi Lajje Mahavidhe, Shraddhe Pushti Svadhe Dhruve, Maharatri Mahamaye, Narayani Namostute. This is why I said I will take some time for the first chapter, because same words are used here, Pushti, Svadhe, Dhruve, Lakshmi, right? So Lakshmi Lajje Mahavidhe, O Narayani, you are the good fortune, that is Lakshmi. Mahavidhe, you are the great knowledge. Shraddha, the faith. Pushti, prosperity. Svadhe, the satisfaction which is given to the ancestral spirits. Pushti Svadhe Dhruve, Maharatri Mahamaye Narayani Namostute. O Narayani, you are the forms of Maharatri, the great night before the Pralaya, and you are the Mahamaya which comes after it as well. So such a Narayani I appeal to you. Mede Saraswati Vare, Bhuti Bhavravi Tamasi, Niyate Tvam Prasideshe Narayani Namostate. You are present in everybody as Medha, Saraswati, and you bestow upon them intelligence and well-being. You are the divine consort and the dark one. Be gracious unto us, O Narayani. Narayani Namostate. Niyate Tvam Prasideshe Narayani Namostate. Please be gracious unto us. Sarvasva Rupe Sarveshe Sarvashakti Samandhite Bhayebhya Strahino Devi Durge Devi Namoste. O Devi, you in the form of Durga will protect us from all our fears. Etate Vadanam Saumyam Rochanatraya Bhushitam Patula Sarvabhutebhya Katyayani Namoste. O Katyayani, who has 3 eyes. Etate Vadanam Saumyam, a beautiful face with 3 eyes, 2 on the skull and 1 on the forehead. Etate Vadanam Saumyam Rochanatraya Bhushitam Patula Sarvabhutebhya Katyayani Namoste. Ever bestow upon us in this gracious, compassionate form, and give your bhaktas whatever they ask for. The Devas appeal to Goddess Devi on our behalf. So we see that let us pray to the Goddess Devi. She will bestow upon us everything, because I have stated with several examples her compassion. Such is her compassion I have stated. So let us all do Sharanagati to Devi, right? So Narayani's Stuti here is done. The Devi makes some declarations, because the Devas ask for the Devi. For whenever they are tormented by asuras, the Devi has to come and save them. This is the boon which the Devas have asked. So the Devi says, Devi Vacha, Vaivasvate Nantare Prapte, Ashtavinchatame Yuge, Shumbo Nishumbastayeva, Utpatyastate Mahasura. I will kill the asuras called Shumbha and Nishumba in the Vaivasvata Madavantara, Nandagopa Grihe Jata, Yashodha Garbhasambhava, Tatasto Nasarishyami Vindhyachala Nivasini. We see that Yogamaya is not mentioned just in the Bhagavatam, it is also mentioned in the Devi Mahatmyam. Devi herself declared that she will be born in Nandagopa's Griha, the house of Nandagopa. Jata Yashodha Garbhasambhava. I will be born out of the Garbha, the womb of Yashoda Devi, and then I will destroy these 2 asuras. Punarapya Atiraudrena Rupena Prithivitale Avatirya Harishyami Vaipachittam Studhanava. Again I will incarnate in a surpassingly horrifying form. I will kill the demons and the allied demons of demon Viprachiti, and after I devour in the sense after I kill all these, Bhakshantyastachatan Ugran Vaipachittan Mahasuran Raktadanta Bhavishyanti Dadi Nikusugopaha. The goddess states that once she kills everyone, the demons allied with Viprachiti, her teeth will become as red as pomegranate flowers. The Devi says, when you open a pomegranate, the juice comes out so red, right? The Devi says that I will have that teeth after I devour all these asuras. Raktadanta Bhavishyanti Dadiniku Supopama. Tatomam Devata Swarge Martiloke Chamanava Stuvanto Vyaharishyanti Satatam Rattadantika. After seeing this form of mine, the Devatas in the Swarga and the Manavas in Vrichiloka earth, they will praise me as Raktadantika. Bhuyasta Satavakshityam Anavashyam Anambhasi Muribis Samstuta Bhumau Sambhavishyam Ayonija. When there is no rain for Shadavarsha, 100 years, again I shall appear, but not from a womb, because we see that before she was born out of the womb of Yashoda. So Devi declares here, I shall be Ayonija. I shall not be born out of a yoni. I shall not be born out of a womb. Tatas Satena Netranam Nirikshashyami Yan Munim Kirtayishyanti Manujaha Satakshim Iti Mam Tata. When the rishis see me in this form, I will have 100 eyes, so that I can bestow them eternal compassion, because 100 years they have been anavrishti, they have been in drought. So when I come, they must forget that they have been in drought for so many years. So I shall come with 100 eyes, so that wherever they see, they will see my compassionate eyes. So they will be glorifying me as Satakshi, the Devi with 100 eyes. Tatoham Akilam Lokam Atmadeha Samudbhavai Bharishyami Surshakai Avreshah Pranadharakai. I will bestow upon them the life-sustaining vegetables brought forth from my own Shakti. So that is why I will be known as Shakambhariti Vikyatam Tada Yasyam Aham Bhuvi. Then, because I have done this, I will be called as Shakambhari. Tatraivacha Vadishyami Durgamatyam Mahasuram Durga Devi Vikyatam Tarne Nama Bhavishyati. Again I shall incarnate in the form of goddess Durga to kill the great asura called Durgamasura. Punashchaham Yada Bhimam Rupam Kritva Himachale Rakshansi Kshayishyami Muninam Pranakarana. I shall incarnate as goddess Bhima Devi to save the rishis who are doing tapas in the Himalayas. Tadama Munayas Sarve Stotyasyan Amanmurtayah Bhima Devi ki Vikyatam Tanme Nama Bhavishyati. My form will be so fierce that I shall be called as Bhima Devi by all these rishis. यदारुणाख्यास्त्रैलोक्ये महाबाधां करिष्यति तदाहं भ्रमरं रूपं कृत्वा संख्येष्यास्यात् पदं पदम्. So when there is an asura called Aruna, he will wreak havoc in the three worlds. I shall be born as Brahmari from a yaga done by the Devas. I shall come as Brahmari. Behind me there will be a swarm of countless beasts. So I shall be called as Brahmari. त्रैलोक्यस्य हितार्थाय वदिष्यामि महासुरां ब्रह्मादीति च मां लोकाः तदा स्तोष्यन्ति सर्वदा. After I shall kill this great asura for the welfare of the Trilokas, everywhere I shall be called as Brahmari. Ittaham yada yada bhada danavota bhavishyati tada tada avitiriyaham karishyam arishamshayam. Like in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, yada yada hi dharmasya glanirбhavati bharata अभ्युत्थानम धर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहं परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृतां धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे. The Devi also declares that ittaham yada yada bhada danavota bhavishyati. Whenever there is a danger arising from demonic sources, I shall arise. Tada tada avatiriyaham karishyam parisamshayam. I shall be born again. I shall take avatars again and again for the complete destruction of the enemies. Now, we see that we have completed the major segment. 11th chapter is the major chunk of the Durga Saptashati. Chapter 12 and 13 are the conclusion chapters. Now, we see that Navaratri is the main festival. Today is the last day of Navaratri, Vijayadashami. So, I will try to touch upon Navaratri as well. So, in the days of Navaratri, we see that in many places in India, Navadurga is worshipped. So from where do we get this concept of Navadurga? It is mentioned in the Devi Kavacham. Brahmovacha asti guhyatamam vipra sarvabhutopatarakam devyastu kavacham punyam takshunvishnu mahamuni prathamam shailaputrincha dvitiyam brahmacharini tritiyam chandraganteti kushmandeti chaturtakam panchamam skandamaateti shashtham katyayiniti cha saptamam kalaratriti महागौरी चाष्टमं नवमं सिद्धिदात्री च नवदुर्गा प्रकीर्तिता उत्तान्येतानि नामानि ब्रह्मणैव महात्मने. Brahma says that the Devi manifests herself into 9 forms. That is Shailaputri, Brahmacharini, Chandragantha, Kushmanda, Skandamata, Katyayini, Kalaratri, Mahagauri and Siddhidatri. So in these 9 days of Navaratri, we see that we worship these 9 aspects of goddess Devi. First form is Shailaputri. That is why I expanded upon the story of Rukmini, where she said that you come and kidnap me from Girija's temple. That is Shailaputri. Girija is nothing but another name of Shailaputri. Shaila meaning mountain and Putri meaning daughter. So Shailaputri. So Shailaputri is the form of the goddess who was born as Sati to Daksha Prajapati. Daksha Prajapati did not like Shiva at all. So when Sati married Shiva, he said that you are not my daughter anymore. He organizes a grand yaga. He invites every other god but not Shiva. But Sati thinks that he is my father, I can take the liberty of going to his house. But when she goes to Daksha Prajapati's house, Daksha starts criticizing Lord Shiva in such a manner that Sati says that this body I have begotten from you, I do not need it anymore. Such a man who criticizes my husband like this, I do not want a body which has been given by this person. Using a tapo agni, she makes herself as bhasma. She burns herself to ashes. After this, she is born as the daughter to Hemavati. Her name is also called as Hemavati. This Hemavati is nothing but Parvati. This Parvati is also called as Shailaputri. So Prathamam Shailaputri cha Dvitiyam Brahmacharini. So Parvati she is the next Janma of Goddess Sati. So Goddess Sati also married Shiva. So she also wants to marry Lord Shiva. So Narada Muni advises that whenever you have a desire, you have to do some sort of tapa. So you want Parameshwara as your pati. So you have to do a very ugra tapas. So she from Shailaputri, she transforms herself into the form of Brahmacharini, ascetic form. A japamala in her hand, a lotus in her hand. So she does tapas for many thousand years. She's also called as Aparna. She even leaves eating leaves during the time of the tapas. So she is called as Aparna. So that Aparna, Brahmachari form. Chandraghanta, the third form of goddess Parvati. She is seated on a lion. She has a bell and a Chandra on her hair, mastakam. Mahagauri, sorry. Chandraghanta is the third form. Kushmanda meaning the womb which contains the entire universe. So she is Jagatmata. Kushmandi is Chatuktakam. Panchamam Skandamati. She is mother of Subramanya Swami, Skandamata. Here she doesn't have any weapons because she is a Mata. A Mata will never hold weapons in front of her child. Even if a small pin pricks her child, the Mata starts crying. So her form is that she holds a lotus and in one hand she hugs Subramanya Swami. That's what I told. Her Matrutvam is such that she always wants to be with her children. So she sends her Shakti into the sphere of Subramanya Swami. So Skandamati iti Panchamam. Shashtam Katyayani. We have already touched upon the great glories of Katyayani, so I think I do not need to go into Katyayani again. Shashtam Katyayani teacher. Saptamam Kalaratri. Kalaratri is a form we also attributed to goddess Kali, the killer of Praktabija, Ghora Rupam, Kalaratri. Mahagauri iti Chashtamam. Then from the Kalaratri form Ugra Devata, she comes back into calm form Mahagauri. She is seated on a bull. Beautiful fair. Gauri means fair, so she is very bright. Mahagauri ti Chashtamam. She is ready to bestow upon anything we ask when we come in front of her. But the thing is that when we come and stand in front of her, we forget everything which we want to ask. Such is her beauty. So Mahagauri ti Chashtamam. Navamam Siddhidatricha. But if by mistake we ask something, even if we ask one thing, she will provide us all the siddhis also. Now, Ashta Siddhi, so she is Ma Siddhidatri as well. So when we ask, she can even provide us all the siddhis. So she is Siddhidatri Mata, which is worshipped in the 9th day of Navaratri. So Navamam Siddhidatri cha Navadurga Pratikita Tani Etani Namani Brahmaneva Mahatmana. So these are the forms of the Devi which are glorified as the Navadurga. So we see that in the festival of Navaratri, 3 days are separated for the 3 Devis. The first 3 for Durga, the second 3 for Mahalakshmi, and the second 3 for Maha Saraswati. So we see that the Navaratri is a grand festival. My grandfather used to say that it's the Brahmotsavam which we do for Devi in our house. Because we cannot go to temples every single day and we see the Alankara, go to Devi, do Alankara for them. We keep the different forms of Devi in our house. It is like you are doing a Brahmotsavam for Devi in your house. So that is the Navaratri festival. You call many people to your house, you give them food, and it is that all the guests are coming at Devi Swarupa. In our house, all the guests coming during Navaratri at Devi Swarupa. So such is the divine grace of Devi that 9 days she has come to our house. She has taken all the bhogyam we have given her, all the stutis and bhajans we have sung for her. A compassionate mother indeed. For 9 days she has stayed in our house every day. She will be in our house eternally, but for these 9 days she has come in the form of Navadurga in very different forms, Saptamatrika. So Devi is so compassionate. She has not only one form, she has many forms. So whatever Ishta we have, we can ask to that particular Swarupam of the Devi. Anyways, it's going to go to the single Eka, that is goddess Adi Shakti only. So glories of Adi Shakti are infinite, and it is very hard to condense it into even 100 days of time. Devi, even the Devas are struggling for words here. So what am I? I am just a small, this opportunity has been given to me. I feel so blessed that I have been given such an opportunity to extol the glories of Devi. And I request you all to chant along with me the shlokas which I am going to chant loudly. It must be heard to Devi. Let her bestow upon us all the siddhis. Please repeat after me. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu Shakti Rupena Samstita
संस्थिता
नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै
नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु
लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता
लक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता
नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै
नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु
या देवी सर्वभूतेषु
बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता
बुद्धिरूपेण संस्थिता
नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै
नमस्तस्यै नमस्तस्यै
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः
नमस्तस्यै नमो नमः
I once again take the opportunity to thank all the dignitaries of the temple, the management and the Sannidhi full of patient audience who have stayed, given their time to listen to the glories of Devi and condensed into the form of Devi Mahatmyam in 1 hour approximately. Namaskaram to everyone. Thank you so much.
സോമേശ്വര പണ്ട് നിങ്ങൾ ഇതുവരെ കേട്ടുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നത് നവരാത്രി ഭക്തി പ്രഭാഷണ സായാഹ്നത്തോടനുബന്ധിച്ച് മാസ്റ്റർ അർജുൻ സായി അവതരിപ്പിച്ച ദേവി മഹാത്മ്യം ചെയ്തത് കുന്തളശ്രീ അയ്യപ്പ ക്ഷേത്രത്തിന്റെ പേരിൽ മാസ്റ്റർ അർജുൻ സായിയെ പൊന്നാട അണിയിച്ച് അനുഗ്രഹിക്കുന്നതിലേക്കായി മേൽശാന്തി ജ്യോതിഷരത്നം ശ്രീ മനോജ് ശർമ്മയെ ഞാൻ വേദിയിലേക്ക് ക്ഷണിക്കുന്നു. ശ്രീ മനോജ് ശർമ്മ പ്ലീസ്.
फोटो
Thank you, Chris. നാളെ വൈകുന്നേരം 6:30 ഭക്തിപ്രകാശം തുടർന്നതായിരിക്കും. നാളത്തെ വിഷയം വേദം. ശ്രീ വാസുകുമാരൻ അവതരിപ്പിക്കുന്ന വേദം എന്ന സബ്ജക്ട് വിഷയത്തെക്കുറിച്ച് ആധാരമാക്കി അദ്ദേഹം നിങ്ങളോട് സംസാരിക്കുന്നതായിരിക്കും. എല്ലാ ഭക്തജനങ്ങൾക്കും സ്വാഗതം, സുസ്വാഗതം. ശുഭരാത്രി. സ്വാമി ശരണായ്യപ്പ. இன்று இந்த விஜயதசமி நன்னாளில் தேவியின் சிறப்புகளை மிகவும் அருமையாக சிறப்பாக நமக்கெல்லாம் எடுத்துரைத்த திரு அர்ஜுன் சாய் அவர்களை நாம் பாராட்டுவோம். இந்த மாதிரி இளைஞர்கள் கையில் நமது பாரதத்தின் கலாச்சாரம் பண்பாடு உலகெங்கும் எடுத்து செல்லப்படும் என்பதில் சிறிதளவும் ஐயமில்லை. ஈன்ற பொழுதும் பெரிதும் தன் மகனை சான்றோன் என கேட்டதாய் என்பது போல் அவர்கள் பெற்றோர்களையும் நாம் போற்றுவோம், பாராட்டுவோம். எனவே இந்த பக்தி கடலில் நம்மளை எல்லாம் பரவசத்தால் மூழ்கடித்த திரு அர்ஜுன் சாய் அவர்களுக்கு மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை நமது பலத்த கைத்தட்டல்களால் அவரை பாராட்டி அவர் மென்மேலும் வளர வேண்டும், உயர வேண்டும் என்று எல்லாம் வல்ல ஐயப்பனை நாம் பிரார்த்திப்போம். நன்றி.
As Sir told, I would like to invite my mother, Srimati Haripriya, and my father, Shriman Krishnamurti Venkatesh. Without their support and their unwavering love and compassion, this would have not been possible. So I would all like you to give a clap for them, for their love and compassion which they have bestowed upon me, and for the opportunities that have been bestowed upon me. Thank you. Namaste.